What's up, y'all? It's your girl, Vicki Street, and I am back at it again for another episode. Yo, before we get started, I just want to say shout out to everybody who has been rocking with me so far over the course of this season, but over the course of these last 10 years. Yes, over the course of the last 10 years. That's right. And since we're talking about it, we are about to be celebrating my 10 years in the game of media and entertainment. I can't believe it either. So without further ado, I want to introduce a guest who has been with me over the last 10 years. This is my 10-year shooter. Look, everybody, we ain't even got no tambourines in the studio yet, but everybody give it up and make some noise for my man Byrd from Ryder Visuals. Hey, not the little symbols.
That's the best I can do. That's the best I can do. When you got him here, so I'm gonna make do.
What's up, Byrd? What's up, Byrd? How are you this evening?
I'm good. Can't complain. How you feeling?
I'm good. Should I have my sunglasses on? I know what I told you.
You said, I recall you on Miss Banks' episode saying that everybody on the joint gotta wear glasses, so that's damn near gotta be a new rule for you.
Is there anybody in the congregation who can bring my purse? You know I keep a pair on me, okay?
Oh, Lord.
Look, you gotta keep a pair.
Oh, okay. Bet.
I'm weak.
Maybe you just said glasses. Maybe I misinterpreted that.
Nah, look, thank you.
Because you got some joints on now. You got some fly joints on now, so I mean.
I appreciate. You know what? And that's because you gotta let your eyes breathe for sure. So maybe I keep my eyes on for right now. Yeah, but you know what?
I just didn't want to look tired. I be up all night. You know, I be in front of my computer, just up, and I be looking tired. So half the time I ain't wearing my glasses.
But you know what? I appreciate that transparency, though, because we wear sunglasses in the industry for a myriad of reasons. Some people, they just be trying to look cool with the clout, and that's cool and everything. Hey, look, but if it's been a long night,
4 a.m., 5 a.m. type shit.
Let me tell you, sunglasses be saving. But you know, sunglasses have become a part of my image, low key. Like, I don't know if you have anything that's like signature to your image physicality wise, do you?
I always hear about it toward my image. I always hear it being my hair or something like that.
Okay, like, yeah.
Because you know I had like the little freeform locks at one point, and then I couldn't cut it off. That was the thing, and now I got the braids. So everybody's saying like I got really unique hair. You know. Yeah. So
I mean, but I love that about you, and that's why I asked that. I don't know if it was intentional or not for you, but I always love when you take the time to show a little personality. Because, and I always try to stress to tell you, like, and be telling other people, Byrd be outside, okay? Like, y'all think, okay, now look, y'all think I
was a party promoter. I've been outside.
Come on, they don't know, they wasn't there. Like, y'all think that Byrd just be, you know, only doing videography, and we gonna get into like the fact that you got a story too, and that's important. But just as I just mentioned that I'm about to celebrate my 10 years in the game.
Woo!
Thank you. You just celebrated 10 years in the game as well. So talk a little bit about how that feels, just making 10 years.
Surreal. Like, it feels very surreal. Like, if you asked me, like when I was like 10 years old, like what I wanted to be, like, I probably wouldn't have said videographer, photographer. Like, I remember back in the day, I really wanted to, like, do, like, for some reason around that age, I wanted to make album covers. For some reason, I want to make album covers. I don't have any idea why. Probably because I was really into music, and that was always been like my goal. I want to do something artsy. Like, I didn't want to play sports or anything like that. Despite me being 6'5" and all that, like, I didn't want to do like no sports for real. I wanted to be on the art side. And if you would ask me like, would you be into videography, photography back then, I'd probably been like, no. And that was just like me getting into Columbia, just being around like a bunch of creatives. It just kind of like just opened my mind to so many things. And then I love like recording stuff like on my phone, so it's like that's just always been my thing. So looking back on when I first picked up the camera to where I'm at now, it's so surreal. Like, it's wild.
So if you didn't want to do it when you was coming up, what made you want to get started in it then?
It's a weird story. Like, when I was in class one time, I had a assignment where I had to pick up a camera and like do like this little photography assignment where I had to like make a story out of like images. And I remember talking to my brother about it, and he was all like, well, if you really want to, I could help get you a camera, because I know that you take really good pictures, so maybe you should try pursuing that. You know, you already got an assignment for it, so it's like, why not? So he helped me get my first camera, and I did the assignment, and I started taking pictures of like all my homies and everything. And then, you know, I was part promoting at the time, so I was just the group's like official, like, you know, cameraman doing like the vlogs and everything. And then it just picked up like right after that. You know, everywhere you saw me, I had my camera around my neck. You know.
No, you were out there in the field, and I'm glad you mentioned the whole party promoter scene. Because I think one thing that's important to speak about is the importance and the strength of sticking with, whether it be a group, an artist, an organization, in a time when they need you the most, in a time where they are in this certain level of ascension as well. But even before that, you know, just like seeing a vision in a person. Can you speak personally to maybe what your personal motto is, or even for your business, when it comes to supporting or seeing the vision of a person, like before, you know? Because listen, I ain't even gonna cap, like, I know everybody didn't have a lot of money back then, so like, listen, they like, I'm sure they probably was like, hey bro, we can get you into this party for free, it's gonna be some fan girls that like, what's up? So like, what has been the way in which you navigate just like seeing the vision in somebody and wanting to work with them just off GP?
Well, I always go with the motto, you gotta start somewhere. When I first picked up the camera, when I knew I wanted to do it professionally, I knew people weren't going to hire me just like right off bat. I got nothing to show for it. So I remember when I first said, you know what, I want to do this photography thing, like for real. I did like free shoots for like 3 or 4 months. I had people just hit me up like, hey, let's shoot. So I had to build my portfolio up. Even with videos, I had to do like a good year of like content for me to even do anything. So I wasn't getting paid for like a good year, you know, like when I was doing videos and everything, and even pictures. So when I built up my portfolio, I was taking pictures of my friends and everything, it's really caught on, you know. So it's always, you gotta start somewhere, you know. There's certain artists who I was coming up with, I ain't charged them a dime, you know, because I saw their vision, and I listened to how good their music was, and I'm like, man, you ain't have to worry about it, I got you, you know. Especially like if you like my homie or whatever, you know, like when I was starting out, I was like, man, I got you, don't even worry about it. I had some people just say, no, I'm gonna pay you, you know, just like I can't give you enough right now. I'm like, you gotta start somewhere, you know.
And y'all, Byrd is not lying. Like, Byrd has been one of those people, like, I mean, you know, I done threw you things however many times, but like, you come through for me, like, and you always have came through for me, like, even when I get done dirty, and they, you know, I remember the first show you ever shot for me, they was trying to pay me $25 to host it. Like,
which one was that?
This was the
I want to know where it is.
I low-key don't even want to tell you, but it's okay though, because it was in college. It was a college organization, so you know how they tried to play them and like be like, oh, they ain't got whatever budget. But I took it, and I think what's important in this story is like, even though I was kind of like on probably in like year 1 or 2 of MCing and hosting, I knew the importance of doing certain shows. Like, people have to know the value in something, whether they're getting paid or not. And I think in what you just told me, like you said, yo, I love this artist's music. Maybe I even heard something in the lyrics that made me empathize with them. And now I want to be a blessing. Or I just see in the long run my return on investment, whether you're doing it maliciously or not, you know?
Yeah.
Like, it's the same thing for me with MCing. Like, on that show, I remember it was Martin Sky, it was Sabu that was on Martin. That show, and Nick Astro.
Man, Martin, man, that's my boy,
yeah.
Man. Like,
And at the time, you know, Sabu was, you know, he was around the way, you know, but
yeah, he's big now.
He's big now. And that's the thing, like, you never know who's gonna be big. Not that I cared at the time. I was introducing everybody and bringing them up on stage just as they were the most magnificent person as the last person who just left. So, you know, that's something that I really appreciate about you, and something that's actually crazy, especially within this last week, all of the hoopla around Keith Lee. Like,
I was just about to say him, like, one thing I want to be like, you know, to like when it comes to like everybody I work with and people who would like get familiar with me, one thing that Keith Lee says is, you know, he wants to be a vessel, like, for various businesses and for consumers to come in and like, you know, try these different businesses. You know, I want to be a vessel for artists and people who are just doing anything creative, like you know, because I'm doing stuff like outside videography, photography that I'm trying to do, you know. So like, if I could be a vessel towards like, you know, pushing out people's stuff, and I'll love to be that. And yeah, that Keith Lee stuff is crazy. Like Atlanta is down bad, like 100 points right now. Like you sending death threats to his family, that's nuts. That's crazy.
I've been so much in tune with this story. Like this story is good on so many levels. It's good for like business owners and like restaurateurs to be really looking at and like getting their checks and balances in order. But it's also just like life is customer service. It's not just these restaurants. It's how we treat each other. It is the experience of experiencing others. And really what this Keith Lee situation is making you do is it's checking yourself. Like at the end of the day, it's
you
like
gotta treat everybody the same, y'all. Like don't treat the next person differently.
And what it's also teaching you is the effect of leadership on staff. Yes. And not just staff, like what else is staff in layman terms? Just the influence on the people. You know, some of these businesses and the experience that Keith had probably wouldn't have happened if it didn't trickle down from the head. If we just being honest.
Even the owners too, like you saw how what that guy was the owner who made that video. Like dog, you know better than that. Like you
who is Keith Lee?
Like dog, like you could have just took that criticism, like let me do better, you know, and then come spin the block, try y'all stuff for real, and maybe it would have been a good experience. You know, you get a positive review after that. Because not like he never gonna come to Atlanta again. Now, I'm not so sure, but...
Now, did you see that Candy made a statement back to the situation?
No, I didn't see that.
Yeah, so Candy Byrd made a statement back, but in her statement, she just addressed the fact that, like, yeah, you know, we can't do takeout orders like that on the weekend, so I'm sorry, like, it's outrageous. It's an actual rule, as outrageous it is, but she didn't address the fact of, you know... favoritism, you know, the fact that now all of a sudden when he done got out the car, now y'all want to change the wait time from an hour to 5 minutes when he comes in.
That makes y'all look bad.
But the question that I want to pose is, I mean, and this is my devil advocate's question, because of course here at the Vicki Street Show we push great user experience and customer service, but are we gonna really sit up here and act like celebrities don't get favoritism all the time, and if you were a celebrity you low-key wouldn't want that same favoritism? Like, it's cold outside and you telling me I can get in the club before all of these niggas? I'm sorry, nigga, my album was hot and I can't help it. Like, they finna let me in the club. Like,
I don't know about other people. Like, I'm not giving no celebrity no special treatment. Like,
but if you were the celebrity, I'm asking,
if
like,
I was a celebrity,
would you take that special treatment?
See, that's the thing. Like, I feel like celebrities, I mean, no, like, for real, like, celebrities at the end of the day are people. Like, they're people. Like, they just a little more more well known than other people, you know. So it's like, I just feel like at the end of the day, like, they still people. They should be treated the same, you know. I mean, in certain situations, like, you know, yeah, they could, like, you know, be put like on a certain pedestal to like get stuff like other people can. But like when it comes to, like, getting food, like come on now, like, I can wait. You know, if I have to wait, then I'll fucking wait to get food. You know what I mean? So
everybody is not acting like that, and that's very admirable. Wow. Of you. But if we're being honest, that's just not the culture that we live in. Like, I saw a skit on TikTok that was basically like, yo, did they have a BBL? Okay, yeah, let them in. Like, that's but they ass didn't have no BBLs and no nice jeans, so we ain't letting them in. Like, so that's just something we need to work on, just as a culture, period. Because there are some people who benefit off of club culture, clout, nepotism, all type of stuff. And I think this Keith Lee thing and also this cheesecake debate has put a lot into perspective for me as a human being, a black human being, and a black woman. Okay,
don't get me started.
We gonna get it started for a little minute. I want to hear about your perspective of this, because let's just take a pause real quick and let me just tell y'all something if y'all didn't know this. But if you do follow Byrd be chefing, okay? This man be cooking, and let me find out this man is an eligible bachelor, okay? Come on, y'all. Ladies, the doors of the church is open right now. This man be cooking in 3D, okay?
I be trying to tell people like,
come on, his scalp is moisturized. Like, and my thing I want to know is, okay, so let's talk about it. It's a lot of women that's mad because a brother might want to take her to Cheesecake Factory on the first date, and we finna get into cheesecake. But before we do, I want to know, is cooking for a girl, and I'll even throw a little fire on her on the first date. Is cooking for a girl on the first date acceptable or not? If you could throw down.
of course, there's nothing wrong with that. Like if you know how to cook, like don't. Like, fellas, I'm gonna tell y'all something. Like, cooking chicken Alfredo is not the way for cook
anybody,
a woman.
Really,
but no, it's good. But don't make that be the first meal. That's the most head ass meal you could give a woman. You got like y'all don't know nothing about stuffed salmon. Y'all know nothing about that with the shrimp on top.
I do know salmon is a nigga fish, and we need to find another one.
About nigga fish.
But what
not the way I make it.
Yours do be looking good. But what I asked that question because like. And there's a lot of ladies that's gonna agree with me. Call in right now, y'all. It's like, why you trying to get me to your crib like on the first occurrence type deal?
It's not even that. It's like, like I've had this instance happen to me before. Like I'll like suggest like a bunch of places, and when I'm like, no, I don't want that either. But when I say like, do you want me to make you something? And he's like, ooh, what can you cook? And that's when the conversation comes up. But I always say like, if you're comfortable coming to my crib, I can cook for you if you don't want to go out to eat. But if you want to go out to eat, that's cool. I be suggesting like a lot of places, but I always ask first, like if you're comfortable enough, you can come like to my place and I can make something over there. But if you're not comfortable, let's go somewhere.
I like that you asked if you're comfortable with it because it tells me that you already know about the elephant in the room and how this could, turn into something else, But the thing is like, okay, for one, you definitely got to stand on your word. But like the alternative that I was going to say, why some girls don't be wanting like guys to cook on the first occurrence, or I wouldn't say any occurrence, but especially on the first is because for some girls, and they probably the immature ones, but I don't know why they think it tells them that the dude ain't got no money. Like, I don't know. Like, have y'all experienced that? Like, yeah. Because it be giving like, this nigga want to use his link.
Hey, ain't nothing wrong with the link.
Ain't nothing wrong.
If you got a link, you blessed.
Let me tell you. Because you know how many people make too much for link? Look, I had somebody take me on a little... after the late night creep little date joint next morning, talking about we finna go get a crab boil. I pull up to Fisherman's Island. I'm like, what we finna do up in here? They said order anything you want. I felt a little bit bad. I tried to go light. This motherfucker pulled out a link card. That was the first time I found out you could get a seafood boil on a link card.
That's nuts.
You could get some good food on a link card.
Wow.
But
you can though.
My thing is... I
had links during the pandemic, and I was surprised about how many stuff I can get.
Let me tell you, my thing is like, and we finna talk about it.
Let's talk about it.
It's like, I feel like sometimes, maybe it's the 90s is gone or something, but maybe we done with ride or dies. I don't know. Like, I think we got a generation that has kind of like fell off the ride or die train. Like, I'm a product of parents who are still together, who are some ride or dies. They got together when neither one of them had money. Like, me and my parents was just talking about that, and both of them, like my dad was just saying, I thank God for bringing me a woman like this because all I wanted was a family. And, my daddy, one thing he has is hustle. So when we talk about, like, you shouldn't date for potential, yeah, I somewhat agree, but it's like, does this man already have some plans that are in action, not just in motion, they're happening? Does his vision make actual mathematical sense, number one? And can you come into his life as a woman and make that better? I'm not saying raise this man, but it's something powerful about seeing the vision in somebody. So it's like all of that stems back to this whole culinary argument that we're having because it's the first occurrence and the first date. And what my dad was just saying is just like, these people don't like each other no more. You know what I'm saying? He believes that liking somebody is better than loving somebody. And if we're just here to get to know each other, why is cheesecake or a coffee date or an ice cream date so bad?
There's nothing wrong with the Cheesecake Factory. I'm gonna let that be known. Like, as a person that's not a cheesecake fan, I mean, I would take somebody to the Cheesecake Factory. I'll probably find somewhere like a lot more interesting than the Cheesecake Factory. I feel like everybody goes there like for family events and all that. That's like the most obvious place to go to. I'm gonna take you somewhere like you ain't never heard of before, you know.
Ooh, let's talk about it. Cause listen, I'm finna play devil's advocate, something for the women and something for the men. So I feel a couple different ways about it. It's like on one hand, I went to the Cheesecake Factory on a date when I was 15.
Okay.
And at 15
is busting.
At 15,
cause you're not experienced to that for real.
I was like, ooh, this nigga gonna be somebody when he grow up.
When I was 15, I was taking girls to B-dubs. Like, yeah. Cheesecake Factory, nope.
But also, like, sometimes Cheesecake Factory at this age, because of the reputation that has been given.
What's the reputation?
I hate this, but it's like, come on now, girls. Like, why y'all making dudes feel bad because they took you to a place with nice ambiance? It's dark up in there, number one, and the food tastes good. And you mad?
Unless you go outside.
You mad because he can spend less than $30 on pasta? What's wrong with you? But you gonna support the cousin at Grand Lux though? That's crazy. Yeah.
You're not gonna be like, cuz, why you bring me here, cuz?
Let me tell y'all something.
Look.
Cheesecake Factory got some of the best beignets. Oh
really?
My God. Yes.
Hey, don't play with me about beignets. You know, my family from New Orleans.
Like, they got chocolate sauce, strawberry, and then this Jack Daniel's white sauce. And it be heated up. I'm gonna go to Cheesecake Factory now. They beignets ain't bad, Vic. We gotta talk. Look, we gonna talk about it. But like, I kinda just wanted to discuss that because, you know, you do be chefing it up, chefing with Byrd. And it's just, I have a personal story that makes me relate to it.
Okay.
I feel like cooking for somebody is very special. That's intimate. It's very thoughtful, of course. Mm-hmm. You know, we shouldn't discount that as a date option or anything like that. Mm-hmm. And I remember one time, it was either my birthday or Valentine's Day, and I was in high school. And I remember the guy who I was dating at the time, he got me like 4 cupcakes that were handmade from this lady who went to his church. Mm-hmm. And at the time, I can tell you, I can definitely say now why, you know, some of these girls, it has to be immaturity that is the reason why they are acting this way about Cheesecake Factory, anywhere somebody wants to take them that put thought into it. Because I know that my energy around him giving me those cupcakes, it was dissatisfactory. I felt like, this is what you got me for my birthday. Like, you knew what I wanted. I said what I wanted. You ain't get me that. But what I was failing to realize at the time is like, I know he put thought into it. I didn't think about it like that at the time. That's all that matters. Yeah, and it's like, oh my God, do you not have a daddy or something like that? And no offense to, you know, if that's the reason why some women are acting like this, but that's what it be given sometimes. Like,
I mean, you know what it is, like, it's just, you know, I guess they just so accustomed to like niggas that's like higher up, like in like the money, like, you know, they'll take them to a steakhouse, they'll take them to, I don't know if you remember Zed's before. You remember Zed's where they like, it's kind of like fuck with the child where they come to your table and they like, I done heard people going to Zed's a lot, you know, like, and that's, you gotta like spend like half your rent to go up in there, like.
And that's the thing, like the part that I do agree with the guys on is like, you want him to spend how much on his first occurrence with you, in which, like, I can't sit up here and put a price on a good time and a price on experiencing me, because I think it's priceless. So my thing is, maybe if you want him, I don't even think it's blowing a bag. Sometimes I just think it's the guy being thoughtful, and then secondary is curating an experience. And one thing women love is to feel luxurious. Like,
oh, speaking of that, I gotta ask you something.
What's up?
What did you think about the oyster lady? The oyster lady. I want to hear your opinion.
She was on a date with a dude, right?
Yeah.
And she ordered 48 oysters, and this man dipped out.
Yeah.
Now, and I, correct me if I'm wrong, but like, this was during a time where there was not a special on oysters, right? I
didn't hear about no special on oysters.
So it was regular price oysters.
Because oysters be about like, because I love oysters. I went and ordered for you 6, 8 of them, whichever one she did. But like, I'm just gonna order this one serving of it. I probably order like a dozen, like, you know, like a normal freaking person, like. But I didn't hear about no special on that. That's crazy. So and those go for about like a good like $20 to $30, you know. And
I think what she did is a reflection on how people are raised. And it's not even necessarily greedy. Like if you was raised rich. It's just if you was raised right. Like, because when you raise right, you have sense and you have perspective of the world and of a myriad of different topics and feelings and emotions and how things come off.
Yeah.
And I was raised, you know, when you go to dinner or when you go to anybody's house, and this is an old black thing, don't be asking for no food up in there. But like, or don't be doing the most, act like you done ate before you got here. But that's just some
I've heard that one.
That's just some old black stuff.
When I had people come to my crib, it's like, where the food at? Like every time.
But it's not even about that part specifically. What it's more about is just like, you know, just treat people how you want to be treated.
Exactly.
The funny part about it is it'd be different if she knew to do, and it would be different if she like really cared about pursuing something with them. It always be the girls who finna go back and talk in the group chat about this same dude.
That was a pity date.
Exactly. And so when you ask me about this, it brings up the conversation of women. Why we still having pity dates? Now,
because y'all be bored. Y'all be bored. She said that because I was bored. That's crazy.
At this
you ain't
age,
that bored.
At this
Read a
age,
book.
At this age, I'm too busy to be having bored dates. So like most women's thing be, and I'm finna strike a chord when I say this. But my thing is, I really feel like some women wouldn't be pressing these dudes so much if they was already spending the money or buying the things or treating themselves to the dates and dinners that they be requiring this dudes. You act like you ain't never had no boo before.
Man.
you want a dude to sponsor your dream meal if we just keeping it a buck.
Exactly.
Like you did the most to have this good meal so you could post it on Instagram. Like I know I'm saying stuff the girls don't want me to say it, but I also feel like that's the old mindset.
Yeah.
It's okay since we all did it in college. We was trying to eat. Like the meal hall was closed. But like at this age, I got too much.
I see a lot of women like actually paying for the meals themselves though. Like I will say like a lot of women that really stepped it up, say like I can afford this meal, like nobody bought me this meal. Like I seen a lot of women like say I went out by myself to have this, you know. Like half the time, you know, some guy paid for it, whatever. But like they be like, "No, I bought this myself."
But that's the real flex, though. Like I made up in my mind a long time ago. Like, look, if don't nobody buy me a drink in the first 10 minutes of being here, I'm gonna get my own because I'm not about to be sitting around here like I'm a floozy out on hosted waiting for somebody to buy me a drink. I'm thirsty right now.
Hosted is nuts.
You know, and I know I look good, so I know it's not gonna take that long. So like. But it's like, you know, we work for our own at this point. Like, if you really the bad bitch, the independent woman, like, why are you doing this? Why as women, are we wasting these guys' times and breaking their heart? Like, that's what I don't appreciate. Some guys, not every guy is going to make above 100K. You know what I'm saying? Like, the economy, it's hard to, first of all, the price of living is crazy out here. So, like... Man. Not everybody's about to have a, you know, even 60K job, but that don't mean that you're not valuable.
Yeah. We not about to spend $600 on dinner for y'all. Like, there's plenty of places. We not about to go to like to Nobu every single week. Like no.
But it's not to say that there's not guys like that out here. So
but
to my women,
would you spend $600 a week on dinner?
I'm not gonna hold you, Byrd.
Right.
If I was a rich nigga, I'd be a tricky nigga.
If I was rich, I still wouldn't do that.
I don't give a...
I'm cooking every week.
I'm rich.
That's more like...
I'm cooking too. Hold on, because I know it seemed like I gave a lot. I know it seemed like I gave a lot to the guy's side, and like I agree, but let's not get it twisted. If I got it, it ain't tricking if you got... Let me tell you something. This is why women be upset at the dudes and how they curate dates. Because it is about a first impression. You are competing. Let her be a bad bitch. You are competing with the whole nation, and you gonna go do some subpar stuff.
Why is it a competition though?
Do you not see Shorty? I'm gonna let you answer that.
It don't matter.
You gonna see how much of a race it is when the nigga who you don't like is on her heels and he doing better than you. Oh
Good
my
for
God.
Because clearly I didn't want Shorty if we not.
No. You did want Shorty. You just wasn't.
I did at first, but I saw how she was moving, so clearly I didn't want her.
It ain't nothing about how she was moving. It's how you wasn't moving fast enough. Where is the tambourine?
Let me tell you something. Look, I don't care if my income is $1 million a week, which I know I'm gonna get. I don't care if my income's $1 million a week. Look, I'm putting that. If I'm spending like a stack on dinner like every single week, like. I like to keep things, you know, interesting. You know, I don't want to say let's go to a luxurious meal. Like, this week, that week. No, like, you know, we could do spontaneous stuff like during the week, but like going to like a high-end restaurant every single week, like, I don't know, that's just not my style. Like, I like to, like, you know, make it like on a surprise occasion, like, you know, random day of the week, like, let's go out, you know, like every single week though, like,
Let me be clear, it's never about the amount of money that you spend.
Mm-hmm.
I know this, okay? I'm the voice of the streets, okay? I know this.
We hear you.
Look, I know this. It's about curation. Fellas got to get in your curation bag. Number one, stop asking me where I want to go when Google is free. That's number one. Number two,
I never asked a woman where they want to go.
And I'm not even saying you, but like dudes would be like, they will beg you for 39 weeks to take you on a date, and then when you finally say yes, I'm free now, they want to ask where you want to go, and
don't do that, y'all.
Yeah, and it's just giving like you didn't put no thought into nothing.
Have at least 3 restaurants like on your like text, like, you know, we can go here, here, or here,
and let's get out of the tradition
simple.
for real of doing restaurants just as the number one option of a first date.
No, it don't have to be a restaurant, but don't go to the movies though. Don't go to the movies ever on the first date.
Yeah.
No.
Now I agree with that for
Unless
sure.
it's your friend. Like if it's your friend, then cool. But if it's like a first impression, like no, that's like no.
Yeah.
Take her bowling, take her like to the arcade, like take her to paint and sip, you know, stuff like that.
Let me tell y'all something. If you was really on your stuff about your game, cause I know guys be like, why do I gotta impress you? I literally had a dude
what
tell
you
me
taking her out for?
What do you mean? Why do you have to nigga, you better entice the draws off me without even telling me that you want them on the first date. Like you got to the type of dudes I love is the type of dudes that have me wonder, is he gay? Cause he ain't tried nothing yet. Like I be wondering, is there something wrong with me? Like
no, it's a process. Like
it is.
No, cause now like the norm is like, you know, guys moving too fast, and like a lot of women like feel violated by that. So like this is me personally, cause I've had like, you know, just approaching anxiety like when it comes to women for like a very, very long time, you know, and just I like to move like a certain way to where it's like I want to really just know like the insides and outsides of you, you know, to the point where it's like I'm patient, like, you know, waiting on like anything further than what you probably got in your mind, like why I haven't made a move, like this is why I haven't made a move, you know, half the time, like, you know, just I'm waiting on the woman half the time, you know, like, but if there's some obvious signs, and I'm not no idiot, but like, you know, this is, I'd rather like, you know, really get to know the person like inside and out, you know, I like to do spontaneous stuff, like go to different places and all that, you know, just really just explore, you know, Well,
listen, people of the Vicki Street Show, you heard it here. Byrd's DMs are open. He told you he don't mind flying you out, cause hey, and
take that with a grain of salt.
Look, it ain't nothing wrong with flying somebody out. Like how I say, there is always a finesse. There's always a finesse to dating. Like for me, nobody ever said spend a bunch of money, but what I love is the creativity. Like I have taken people out on dates, and I ain't had no type of money. And do you not know, shorty swooning to her best friend, swooning to me, how did you get the fireworks to play when we were here? Like,
wait, I want to rewind for a second.
I'm like, they was already finna play, because everybody know it's free fireworks in the summer at this time of night. But it's just like, you gotta be smart. We done stopped battle. I pulled up on you with the drink. I came at a time where the DJ was at the beach. Guys don't be thinking about this, like, oh my God, it's so easy to talk to women. Like, G, you gotta be smooth.
It is easy to talk to women. It is easy to talk to women, because like most of my friends is females and everything, you know, like, because I don't be trying to like just court every single woman I see. Like all my close homies are women, you know, and the women that I do be trying to pursue, like, you don't know, you know, especially if I'm trying to like take you here, there, and here, like, you don't know, like, especially if it's different, you know.
And we love an undercover brother, okay?
Undercover.
Oh, an undercover brother, like a dude who, you know, I personally love a dude who ain't even got no social media. Like, that's one of the most sexiest things.
That's
I
hard.
don't be on Instagram,
I
baby
do know a
girl.
lot of people
Praise
like
God.
that. They got social media, but they never be on it, like, ever.
Or that, like, or just a dude that's not into all that. Why are we competing for likes in this bed? I come in the bathroom, you already in there with the ring light on. Like, like, come on. But look, let's get back to the videography. I feel like we have talked a bit about culinary pet peeves. Let's talk about videography pet peeves.
Oh, Lord.
Yeah. Come on, what you got for me? What's number one?
I mean, it's really no particular order, like, of aggravation for me. It's like, I mean, there's a particular order, like, you know, how it is, like, you know, when it comes to, like, booking me, you know? So if you DM me or email me or whatever and inquire about a shoot and I give you my price, I mean, I'm starting to understand that, you know, if I give you my price and you don't reply back, like, that used to bother me a lot, but now, like, I kind of understand. But, like, if you hit me up, I said this the other day too. If you hit me up and said, like, okay, I'm about to lock in the deposit, you know, just I'll hit you up in a few days. I don't hear from you for a year later, and then, like, by that time my price is different, you know, like, and then I give them, they be like, I'm ready to lock in. It's like a year later, I'm like, dog, my price went up $200. And then they want to get mad. Like, what are you mad for? Like, I didn't, you asked my price, you was clearly ready then. And then the crazy part is, this happened to me a few times. Somebody asked me for my price, I gave them my price, they said they're ready to lock in, they go shoot a video with somebody else.
Maybe that person was less.
No, because their quality is, like, way 10 times better than me.
But was they stuff still less, though?
They price? Yeah. I wouldn't know, but
it probably was less if the quality looked like that.
It could be, but, like, if you got, like, way more followers than I do, and they
don't mean nothing.
Yeah, I guess.
And people be buying their followers. Come on now.
Yeah, you're right.
And the talent still don't match. Bloop.
But like, if you know, like, their content is, like, you know, is really out there and everything, you go shoot it. I mean, I understand, like, maybe they got a bigger name than I do. I'm very humble. I'd be like, okay, like, half the time, like, you know, when people can't, like, come to me for some reason, I'll go refer them to somebody else. You know, like, this person got, like, you know, similar quality or better quality than I do, and they really do. So, like, you go chop it up with them. Especially, like, when people try to book me for, like, a certain day and I can't do it, they be like, okay, who else can I go to? I instantly just refer them to a bunch of people, you know? So when it comes to that, other pet peeves, I mean, I was talking to my mans over here about this. Like, it's something I can't control, but it's low-key. It's like, it's like the peer space situation.
What about it?
Going to the same location every single time.
Oh, yeah.
Man, like, we was just talking about this checkered room that...
Yeah.
I'm tired of that place. Like, I am so tired of that place. Like, I haven't been there in a good, like year or two, thank God. Like... But, like, there was a time where, like, I was there like 3 times a month, and, you know, when you're shooting videos, like, it's really hard to, I mean, for me, it's not that hard, but, like, I can imagine for other people, like, if you're doing the same location, it's hard to get creative and without looking like a copy and paste video, you know. So I try my best to, like, you know, make the shots differently than the other video, you know, because I would hate for people to come look at my stuff and be like, his video look like that. I mean, one is in the same location, two, like, what do you expect me to do? But I try to angle stuff differently, use different lighting, do different methods of shooting and editing, you know, to give it just like a different look, you know. But like, if you hit me up and have me shooting your grandmother's kitchen and, like, every other week, like, don't, like, how do you expect me to, you know, be creative with that? Only thing I could do is change lighting, angles, this and that. It's like, you know, stuff like that, you know. And
you have just said so much right there, because number one, what I appreciate is that you would even go the extra mile to think beyond the artist, to be like, I'm gonna make your stuff look different because everybody be shooting in this space. Like,
yeah,
I mean, I'm sure the same thing happens in Hollywood. Like, there's a lot of notable places.
Oh yeah,
but in Chicago,
they change their setup a lot. And that's what a lot of these peer spaces do. They like to change their setup a lot. Like,
they don't do that in Chicago.
I noticed that checker place, they change their setup sometimes too, but the room is still checkered, and they change their other room a lot. But it's like, you know, like, it's the same, like, you know, same routine in there, you know. And another thing too is just when artists aren't open to creativity. You know, I understand like a lot of times like I have their means, you know, to do the creative stuff. Cause like when people hit me up for videos and they ask me for ideas, first of all, you can't get an idea unless you send a deposit because my ideas aren't free.
Oh,
And
ooh.
second of all, when you do send a deposit and then you ask me for ideas, I'll go like above and beyond, and like you can either call me on the phone, we could discuss the idea, or I'll make a treatment, and I'll take my time, make the treatment. They'll love the treatment. When it comes to the day of the video, like I got my own idea, and we back shooting your grandmother's kitchen. Like I can't stand that. Like I really can't stand that. Like because like I know it's just like a lot of times like you know like when I make treatments like you know it requires you booking a space, getting like maybe models, getting extras, getting props and everything, you know. And like half the time, like they only got the money enough to pay the videographer. You know, they're like, man, I gotta work with whatever resources I got. I understand that, you know. But like, if I'm shooting your grandmother's kitchen for the 10th time, it's like, you know, like how much creativity do we got? I mean, it's up to me to do that, you know.
On one hand, it's giving people are only as creative as their grandma's kitchen. On the other hand, is giving people only have enough budget for their grandma's kitchen. Are there any instances, or do you have any advice for people to blend the two, whereas like maybe you may have not had such a thought out concept, but you also don't have that much money too? Do you have any advice for people how to merge the two of like making the most of what they have?
I'm gonna tell you a quick story real quick. So I shot a video. It's for who was it for? Giza Almighty, I believe it was him. So I had I shot a video. I pulled up to the video shoot and they had a bunch of people there. I think it was like around like Halloween time too. Everybody had masks on, I believe so. I believe it was around Halloween where people was just dressing up or whatever. They had zero concept for the video. They was like, so we got all the people here, we don't know what to do, whatever. So I made up a whole treatment like right then and there, utilizing like everything that we had like in the room and all the people that was like, there was like a few people there. It wasn't like a big party or whatever. It was probably like a good like 7 to 8, 9 people up in there. So I utilized the people, utilized the props that we had. You know, they had prop guns, they had masks, and they had people. Like you could do a lot with people. So I created a whole treatment right then and there. Video came out super dope. You know, it was basically like, you know, these two guys come in and they got like a party of people with like masks there. You know, they play Russian roulette like right in the middle of the table. And then like, you know how like, you know, when you play games with people, they be like, no, I didn't lose, you lost. You know, they just accept like victories is like whether they lose for real or anything. So it's like these people like if they lose, they holding like the strap to their head like nah, you lost type shit. And then that's how the video went, you know. So I'm so good with like on the spot thinking. Like I could turn like nothing to something like really quick, you know, depending on like the circumstances. If I show it to a blank room with nothing, like I mean I could probably figure something out, but like half the time it's like, so what are we doing here, you know? But something like that is like I could really make something out of like, you know, out of any situation, you know. That's what comes with like just being a creative, you know.
I love that you can do that, especially because I'm gonna just keep it a buck. Like a lot of the videos, I won't necessarily say that are being shot in Chicago, but a lot of the videos that I've seen you shoot tend to have like this drill background to them. And I know how you personally feel about that because I know you have some anxiety around shooting videos like that because of things that have happened in the past. So I want to briefly talk about just like the pushbacks and the anxiety and the things that you face. You know what I'm talking about? You know, shooting videos shooting videos where, you know, they are open pointing guns at the videographer and then something bad happens. Like, how do you deal with that?
I mean, I'm just so accustomed to like being around guns, even like around like high school. I was hanging around people that had them, so it's like not being pointed at me. Like I don't know. It's like I feel like while I was shooting the videos, like I was like, but I will say like I do tell these artists that you gotta empty them joints before we start shooting. Like half the time, like if I'm just now like you know like knowing you, like half the time I'll say like you just put on safety or whatever, you know, just stuff like that. But like the anxiety behind it, I didn't really get no anxiety from it like only when like artists like drop their guns, like if y'all that irresponsible to drop y'all guns in the middle of a shot, it's like y'all need to be holding it, you know? Because what if you in the middle of like, you know, your opposition pulling up and then you drop your gun? It's like you're not prepared, my boy. Like,
but didn't something recently happen where like one of the shots fired from the guns in the middle of a video shoot?
that was somebody else's shit. That wasn't mine.
I could have swore you just posted. You was like, I got some anxiety about like these shoots and some shit.
No. So I did a video shoot recently because, you know, a few months ago I actually got shot at like after a video shoot. It wasn't even after a video shoot. We was moving locations, and then these guys just pulled up on both the cars and started shooting at the cars. You know.
Did you attribute that to the artist, or was it happenstance, you think?
I mean, it could have been avoided. I'll say that. Like, it really could have been avoided because like the location of choice wasn't like the best location. I mean, I was looking at like, why are we over here? You know, it was just an open lot that we were at, and we can go to any open lot in the city. But I was just thinking to myself like, why that location? So as soon as we did something to that location for a little bit, we dipped off somewhere else, and as soon as we dipped up out of there, I think like 2 minutes later, they just trailing us and started shooting at our car. So it's like, it's really, I don't really want to blame the artist for real because maybe they didn't know how the area was. You know, I've known about the area, I've been told about the area a lot, so it's like I'm thinking to myself like, this ain't the spot to go to. You know, so maybe it's just like you just not being aware of like your surroundings or whatever, especially if it's a neighborhood you've never been to. Like, that's why I was saying, like, if you probably been over here, it's probably never been no issue with you, you know, like, maybe you're good over there, you know, but if you never been to this location, you saw, like, a cool spot, you know, at the time, like, this ain't the spot that you need to be, you know, that was just the situation. We was in a spot we didn't need to be.
Right. You know what it's giving? It's giving I'm too grown for this. To be honest, to be ducking down in a moving car on the way to the location number 2. With that being said, what do you see for yourself in the next 10 years as it pertains to videography or just period in life?
In 10 years, I know I want to do like my own channel, like not like YouTube channel, but like television channel. I kind of want to do something where it's advertising like a lot of videos that I've done, not like past videos, like probably like current videos I'll be doing, but I also want to highlight other people's videos, like other videographers' videos, because you know I owe it to like a lot of videographers to get to where I'm at today, to the point where I'm at. So like I really want to highlight just up and comers videos and put it on that channel, and then if I do film, I want to put like my films on there. You know, I kind of want to be like an alternate version of MTV almost, you know, just put like shows, music videos, movies and stuff on there, how like they do it today, you know, it's just like a alternate version for like up and comers, you know. So I wanted to be on like local too. I wanted to be the next MTV, VH1, BET, you know.
Right. Literally, I have a similar vision, and I think there are some other people who have similar visions, just because we want to continue the work that left off when like shows like 106 in Park went off the air. You know,
we need that back.
Yeah, I feel like the culture really took a hit right there.
Were you a TRL person?
Hell no, I'm black as hell.
I figured.
And we had a limited amount of channels. I don't even know if we got MTV.
I was on 106 in Park. As soon as I got back from school, I was ready.
You feel me?
Man,
you know,
I wasn't on no TRL.
My mama washing dishes behind me. I'm doing a video to I'm just, you know what I'm saying? Let's talk about real quick. What do you have outside of videography? Any shows, podcasts? What's up?
Well, you know, I used to throw showcases. My thing was like, I don't know what it is about the artists I work with in particular, but the artists I work with in particular, like they have such a sound that I cannot believe that it's not on the billboards right now, and that's for like 10 years of experience. I know like a bunch of artists, so I'm like, how are you not like up here like right now? You know, it's crazy. Like I do want to shout out one person specifically, like Lil Blessing. Like I shot one video with him, and like, well, look where he's at.
You want to go to the liquor store?
Yeah, like shout out to him, you know. And I just want to shout out to like all the artists I work with, especially like people that come to me, like, you know, like on a consistent basis, you know. Like I see all y'all on the billboards, like guys like my brother Solo, like, man, I'm waiting for you, bro. You up next? What, Asa, my boy Toka Fly from Toledo. Like he's getting up there.
Name him.
Who else? My brother E-Man. I got named Ashley Banks for sure.
Come on.
And you, cause y'all right there, y'all on the cliff, y'all just gotta like just keep pushing and y'all gonna be right there, There's so many other people, like I just feel like there's so many people that are just at that cusp of like, getting to the billboards. I've been doing 10 years of like material for them. So it was like I wanted to like highlight everybody that I personally done videos for. So when I was doing shows, I was like, I want to do a showcase for artists specifically who shot with me, because I feel like these people deserve a spotlight, So I remember like doing my first show at Rad Vintage, and I think I can name the whole lineup. I know I had Solo and Asa headlining. I had my boy Code God headline. Well, he wasn't headlining, but he was like right there in the lineup. My boy E-Man, you remember Reggie? Reggie, yeah, and his cousin. Who else? It was a lot. It was a lot of people on that first lineup. And then I started doing my stuff at Enjoy. Like right after that, I did like a bunch of shows at Enjoy, and then I eventually did. Was you at my birthday one at Sub T?
Probably, yeah. Was it with Brill or am I?
Brill was performing, yeah. Brill was definitely performing. Brill was on my first show too. So Brill was definitely it was Brill, Bangland Z's, Asa. I had a surprise performance from Lucci V. That was really dope. She had confetti and everything. She had Queen Envy on that joint dancing. Like that was really dope. I had DJ Sky DJing Finesse. DJing, shout out to my brother Finesse. Shout out to my sister DJ Sky. So Sky Jetta, yep. And then I had like Solo, because it was like me and Solo got the same birthday. So we were celebrating our birthday and having a showcase, which is on a Monday. And it was busting after that. And after that, I did 2 all-women showcases. I did an all-women showcase right after that, and then I did another one. I did one like in Richmond Park, I believe. Yeah,
I know, because
you was hosting that. Yeah, you hosted and performed at that joint. Yep. And then I did the anniversary one this past July. So I want to continue to do that. It's just like, it's hard, like, doing it by yourself, because every single time I've done it with other people, I did, when I was first doing them, like, when I was doing that Rad Vintage Enjoy, and then Sub T, I was doing it with my homegirl, 11, shout out to 11. She was like my event coordinator, she was helping me with that. And I had my sister Serena help me with the first all-women showcase. I don't know if you remember Serena from Columbia.
Course, yeah,
shout out to her. She helped me with that one. And then, I did my most recent one at no, I did the second all-women showcase. I did that by myself. That was my first one I did like solely like by myself, and it turned out pretty good. And then I did the most recent one with E-Man and Kingpin Rue. So I kind of want to like do some like a little different with the next ones, but I do want to continue to do that. I also want to shout out DJ Semi, because like,
come on, that's my girl.
That's my homie. Like, I really admire everything that she's doing. Like, she's been on, especially like this past Halloween. Like, I've been seeing her everywhere. I love the content that I shoot with her and everything. I kind of want to like get something to work with her soon. So because she's just amazing at what she does. And
absolutely.
And then my podcast, like everybody been asking me about my podcast, so. I was doing you was my first guest on the podcast too. That's crazy.
Come on.
I had to get you first because like, we've been at this 10 years, so it's like, it's only right, So, and yeah, like my podcast picking up, but like due to some unfortunate circumstances with the location and everything, I had to stop it. That was really beyond my control, but I am happy to announce that I will be dropping the podcast towards the end of 2023.
Okay.
But it's going to be a little bit different format, but it's going to be a little more intimate and more like, it's not going to be just me, it's going to be me and the homies.
Okay.
It's going to be me and the homies involved. I'm going to have different guests with an S. So
all right.
It's coming, it's coming. It's going to be a little more intimate setting. So y'all stay tuned on that.
Listen, you know what, Byrd? I've had a grand type of time and conversation with you this evening. But you know what? I wanna shake it up, because you are a videographer. but
That I am.
I feel like you wouldn't be exactly where you are without the artists
Oh, of course
that
not.
come to you,
Mhm.
you know? So we're going to take a break, and when we come back, we're going to speak with an artist that I think has a dope sound, dope concept, image, and we just
Okay.
going to have a little conversation, a little chat,
Ooh,
okay?
let's do it. I'm ready.
All right, cool. Listen, y'all stay tuned to the Vicki Street Show. It's just getting started. If you've been rocking with your girl Vicki Street over the last 10 years, I need to see you in the building on Friday, November 10th for my 10 years in the game celebration. That's right, we are getting together to celebrate 10 years in media and entertainment, and I don't even have to tell y'all how it's about to go down. So get your tickets today. You can check it out in my Instagram bio or head over to eventnoir.com. Looking to have your event laid out in excellence? Well, look no further. Divine Treats and Heavenly Eats specializes in gourmet catering and event planning. You can choose from a range of cuisines, themes, and colors that'll best fit your occasion. They even offer private chefing and meal prep subscriptions. So call today and save on a heavenly service of your choice by mentioning the Vicki Street Show, 888-355-3811, or visit heavenlyeats.com. And don't forget to follow them on Instagram at heavenly_eats for mouth-watering treats. What's up, y'all? It's your girl, Vicki Street, and we are back at it again, this time with an artist, because we love having full circle conversations. Yes, everybody, give it up in your living rooms, in your cars, on social media for my man, Super Dakario, y'all.
What's good, y'all?
Listen, and we got Byrd from Ryder Visuals again back at it with us. I just thought it would be cool to bring these two creatives together to just talk. It's so much that we can talk about.
Definitely.
Really quick, I want to focus on Dakario. Okay, for those of you who don't know, it's like Dakario rhymes with Mario, and he got the super in front of it, and it ain't for no reason. So Dakario, I know that you are very inspired by things like video games, anime. If I'm wrong, correct me.
Okay.
Look, you got on a T-shirt. It looked like anime.
It's actually merch from Victoria Monet's.
I thought that was Sexy Red for a second.
I should have known. So you love anime? Am I right in that aspect?
I love anime. Yeah.
Okay, I see it popping up everywhere.
Yeah.
I already read your bio.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you last put out an EP. I want to say it's in 2019.
Yeah. So that was the last project that I put out. It was in 2019, right before the pandemic. Titled "Life Is a Game." It was like 10 songs.
But your whole brand is kind of around like this video game type of thing, right?
Yeah, I would say Super Dakario. So the name stems from obviously Super Mario, one of the most iconic video game characters.
Love it.
Shout out Nintendo. Hopefully they don't come after me.
Right.
But I got the name. I got the name from one of the some of the homies. Like we would just be like kicking it and like playing Smash. And I would use Mario, like that was the character that I went to. So
that's
they kind
fire.
of dubbed me that, and then like
that's
it kind of like I got interested in music and rapping, and it kind of like became that.
Do you think video games like Mario are considered like real competitor video games? Because I only play stuff like that and Guitar Hero. But if you ain't playing Call of Duty, is you not real?
Nah, I personally only play like fighting games. I don't really play anything else for real.
Interesting.
So I I'm playing the new Mortal Kombat, and I've been having a lot of fun.
Oh, I haven't gotten to that yet.
It's
fire.
It's
Some people like me would like to take a break from life. We don't want to deal with all of that.
Escapism. You know, I definitely be hopping into the virtual world.
Let me ask you this: since you haven't came out with a project since 2019, how do you feel about when people ask you, "So how's the music?"
Yeah,
as an artist.
It's always interesting when people ask that, because it's like, I mean, like, you haven't listened to it, so I mean, I guess you wouldn't know how the music is, but like I'm still doing what I do. And like I'm also in a trio, so like the last solo project that I put out was in 2019, but I'm in a trio known as Black Christoph, and we've dropped 2 EPs. The last EP we dropped was like earlier in the year. So yeah, like it is like annoying, but also like people be trying to catch up, so you gotta let them know what's going on in your life, and Shit, the music going fine. Can I curse, Loki?
No, I feel like we've been cussing all night.
I got Sailor mouth like a mother.
I said a couple N words.
Like if I curse too much and it's way too much, I'll bleep it out myself in the edits. You just let me know.
Oh, true post.
No, we cool.
Shout out to that.
So I mean, not to assume, but you haven't made a full EP right since 2019, right?
Yeah, that was the last time I had like a full body of work for real.
So, like, I know what I was doing from 2019 to 2013. Like, the world was in an entire pandemic.
2023.
Yeah.
Right. So I get overwhelmed with that question. So what are you doing right now? How's the music? Like, why are you asking these small talk questions? I want to know from you, like, what do you feel, in your artistic opinion, is needed to create art?
That's a good question, because when the pandemic, like, when we was in it, and like I had like a lot of people had got laid off their jobs and was just like, just getting whatever the aid that they was given. And like I realized that the way that I write music, it's based on what I'm currently dealing with, like, in life type shit. So like before the pandemic, I was working 2 jobs and like was moving around a lot, going to open mics, going to shows and doing whatever, and then everything stopped, and I was like, damn, like I don't have nothing to write about. And so like for a long time I wasn't creating anything because I didn't have anywhere to pull from, for real. Like, and I used to do a lot of my writing when I was commuting, like on the CTA, like on the train or the bus or whatever. So like I would be on the train, I would be writing, and then now I'm not going to work, so I'm not having that normal routine that I normally would have, that creative time. So it was just really weird, and it was like I was kind of depressed, low key, like damn, like what's going on? Nah, like, yeah, that's a good question. Nah, I was definitely, I think you have to have things going on. Like, you don't have to be the busiest person, but like, if you're not doing anything, it's hard to talk about.
We had to force ourselves to be creative, like, and to do something like around that time. It was such a crazy time,
But let me ask y'all this. We not done with them times. There are a lot of people who are still feeling the effects of the pandemic. I low-key feel like we're not out of the pandemic.
I had COVID over the summer.
People
like
are still getting COVID.
Yeah.
How are you all dealing with COVID as content creators?
That's real. You want to go first? Or?
I mean, COVID, this is going to be crazy to say, but like financially, COVID didn't really affect me. I got the most money I ever got around COVID time, because I feel like it forced people to like be creative with like the limited access that they had. So like people didn't want to take a break doing music or nothing. So like people was like hit me up like, "Hey gang, come through. I want to do this and I don't know how people was getting their money. Low key, I think people was giving me their STEMI money like to pay for their videos, because I had this dude pay me. I don't know whether Trump gave everybody $1,200 this one time, but he literally gave me a whole $1,200 to shoot a video. Yeah. He said, "Can I have it back like in like 2-3 days of this price?" I'm like, sure. So
you got busy, didn't you?
I was getting like STEMI money like crazy. I had to have
STEMI money.
Yeah.
I'm getting STEMI money.
So yeah. So like I wasn't going outside for real. Like I think around the pandemic I was cool. I don't know about I really want to know from like the artist side, like how y'all was affected by it, because I never really asked for real.
Right, because he's like the business and you're technically the service.
So my homie Sean Peace, he started having us come to his place, and like it would be like, obviously it's the trio, and then his homie is Palaco. He's a producer, he goes by Palaco. And we was just like linking up every Wednesday night, to the point where the 2 EPs that we dropped are called House Wednesdays. So we was linking up consistently every Wednesday, and it wasn't like we really had anything to do on a Wednesday night, so we would link up and make music. So we've created so many like things like in that amount of time, within the 1.5-2 years that we have been linking up during the pandemic. And like that was dope, because like we really got to like lock in and like figure out, like craft our sound, and we want to bring more people in and have them come through and collaborate with us. So Wednesday nights, if you're around, pull up. But yeah, like when everything slowed down, we got to be more intentional and slow down as well, I feel like, with crafting and creating.
That's the thing about the pandemic. I don't know if everybody caught that, but it was the theme of slowing down and being intentional. And the thing about being intentional in the creative arts is it kind of is a means of but fine tuning your craft, you know? So for some people, it might look as a pivot. Like I personally pivoted from just doing MC to DJing and artistry of my own music. So to y'all, it might look like I'm not just shooting drill videos. I am shooting commercials. I'm shooting like short films, all different things. Like to you, it may look like I'm writing for other artists. You know, I'm voice acting, like all different type of things. I know, because I read your bio. So it's like, you know, I think we need to take a step back and appreciate what the pandemic has done. But also, prepare for the unknown. Like, I don't know how spiritual you all are, and we're not about to go down that rabbit hole because we got 3 minutes till we wrap up. But if anything, the pandemic has taught us to, or at least taught me to, love on the people who care about me and be all, capital ALL, that God has called me to be. And you two are individuals who I believe of, and I believe in the artistry of, and I extremely appreciate you all for coming out to the Vicki Street Show today. You all could be anywhere you wanted to be in the world, but you chose to amplify your voice right now tonight on my airwaves, so I appreciate that the long ways. And so, as we all have been doing our creative art for however long, you know, because I really don't feel like as long as we say it really has been. For some of us, it's been innate. I just want to send you with continue to be all, capital ALL, that God has called you to be, because it's not easy for any of us. I've had 3 friends that have posted on social media this week that they are giving up on the creative arts. This is their last show that they're doing, and I understand how expensive it is, and I understand how you have nobody to co-sign with you. But if you don't believe for anybody outside yourself that the message that you're sending is worth hearing, I don't know what else to tell you.
Facts.
So sometimes if you have to put in your mind that you're acting as a negotiator on the building of somebody jumping off the building to save a creative life, then I just feel like that's what we must do. So, as we end this episode of the Vicki Street Show, I really want to thank you all from a creator standpoint for coming out to this show and sharing your story as a person who has not had this podcast going since almost July, because I've had my own mental health issues and my own setbacks that people have said, hey, we need you on. I just want to say thank you for the bottom of my heart, and I want to say thank you to myself for opening this as a platform.
Thank you so much.
We appreciate you and we love you.
Because this is what it's about. Like, not to give myself any flowers, but maybe
do it. You got to.
You definitely deserve
maybe
flowers.
possibly to just be an example to people, to let them know, like, if you're a content creator, it's okay if you take a break. It's okay if you have more than a week of downtime that was sad time to take a break. Take as long as you need to get yourself back up and pick yourself back up. And if you start just one by one and you don't do a full season, it's okay, because we're all going through it out here.
I needed to hear that.
You know, I don't know who is touching tonight. I don't know who is touching tonight. I don't know if you have the money to do so, but it's never about that. And if you don't have the money to do so, please use your creativity that God has gave you to figure out a way to get that message across, because it needs to be heard.
Yes.
And without further ado, I just want to thank y'all for coming through the Vicki Street Show.
I enjoy
and
myself.
if you haven't done so, please get your ticket to the 10 years in the game Vicki Street Media and Entertainment Celebration.
I will be
because
there.
it's long overdue. Okay, we about to sell out of the early bird tickets.
It's gonna be busting. I'm telling you.
It's gonna be busting. And like I said on my Twitter, if we ain't locked in, we ain't out. And with that note, thank you so much for coming to the Vicki Street Show and watching the whole thing. It's been an honor to host and curate narrate you through this conversation this evening. And hey, I ain't got nothing else to say, okay? It's your girl, Vicki Street. We out.
We gone.
Who are you to say I'm supposed to? Don't you know I was chose to? Let me show you what these words do.
If you're looking for a new artist to get into, I'd say check out Super Dakario. He got that Vince Staples flow about him, and I can appreciate anybody who ain't just rapping about gang banging. Shout out to my man Smokey. But listen, he's a part of a collective called Black Christoph, and you can check out all of their upcoming shows and music by following Super Dakario on Instagram.
Yo, ass G's. Right now I need a bad D with a bad physique like Mystique, but no shape shift. Got no time for that fake shit. Just took off with a spacecraft. Buy my jeans, but I hate craft. I'm so serious about my craft.
For more good music and conversations, stay tuned to the Vicki Street Show.